In today's video, I'm going to be doing a power-up tier list, and I just want to clarify that these are drops from World at War zombies to Black Ops 3 zombies, just to make that clear. So no Cold War, no Black Ops 4, nothing like that. Just want to make that clear before I get into this. Alright, so I'm going to start left to right. So first up, we got Blood Money. It's not a bad power-up, but it's not really good either. You know, I'd pretty much rather have literally like anything else, maybe besides a Carpenter. Maybe even a Carpenter, because sometimes that even gives you more points. It's not terrible. I think I'm gonna throw it in... wait, let me change these really quick. Alright, there we go. I just changed those around. I'm gonna put it in worse than mid. I didn't put a bad category just because there really is no bad power-up, so I don't want to call it that, but I definitely put this at the bottom of the list. This isn't bad, but it's just like, it's just meh. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. Alright, next up, we got Insta-Kill. See, my thing with Insta-Kill is usually when I'm playing a map, I have a certain strategy, you know, killing them with, you know, either the Wonder Weapon or the traps on the map, like on Kino or something like that. And Insta-Kill, it does come in handy on something like a survival map like Town, but like overall, it can kind of like mess up your strategy in a way. And I feel like even when I get Insta-Kill, I'm still doing the exact same strategy, like I'm training them all up because I don't want random zombie spawns. It's not bad. It can definitely be helpful, like if you need to revive a teammate and you need to kill a bunch of zombies to quickly get them out of the way. But I don't think it's as, I wouldn't put it in like the great category, because I still feel like kind of stressed out on an insta-kill sometimes, especially if I'm surrounded and I have zombies spawning in everywhere because I've just been randomly killing them instead of killing them all at the same time. So I'm going to throw it, I don't know if that really makes sense, but I'm going to throw it in good. I think it's solid. I don't think it's as good as a lot of the other power-ups, but still solid. Alright, next up we got the Carpenter. Obviously this is going in mid. I mean, yeah, there's nothing I can really say about it. It rebuilds the barriers. It's pretty good on Knocked for that reason. It only gives you 200 points. Like even a nuke gives you 400 points, which I mean, I feel like the Carpenter instead, it should be the one that gives you 400 points since it's like less helpful. Obviously this is kind of like a troll power-up, you know, Trev just wanted to throw this in here. I think the Carpenter is actually worse. The reason I'm gonna put the Carpenter there is because with the Blood Money, you dig it up, so you kind of know what you're just getting, you know? But like, I feel like with the Carpenter, like if you kill a horde of zombies with a Mustang and Sally, or a ray gun, and like you're like really close to like being out of ammo, and you're like, oh my gosh, what did that drop? What did that drop? And then you run over there, you know, all the smoke clears from like your Mustang and Sally, or whatever you used, and you go over and you see it's a freaking Carpenter when you really needed a max ammo. So I feel like this is like so disappointing, you know? It's just like when you dig up a Blood Money, it's like it's right in front of you, so it's already there. But like with a Carpenter, sometimes you don't see what the drop is, and all you see is the shine, and you get excited, but then you realize, oh wait, it's a Carpenter. So yeah, I'm gonna put this at the bottom of the list, honestly. Even though technically this is more helpful, I still just freaking hate it for that reason. Alright, next up we got Double Points. Double Points is really helpful on an early round, especially on something like Origins or Buried, but overall, I just feel like it's not very helpful on a later round. It pretty much just becomes a useless drop, the same as like a Carpenter. It definitely does help you on the early round, so I'm gonna throw it in mid, but I'm gonna throw it above Blood Money. Not a bad drop by any means, it just kind of becomes useless in the later rounds. Alright, next up, we got the Nuke. The Nuke is very handy in certain situations. Maybe you went down and you just need a couple seconds to pick yourself back up, you know, run over, get Jug, get quick revive, you know, revive a teammate, like whatever. So it's really helpful in that sense. It doesn't last as long as the insta-kill. Like, the nuke is like very quick and kind of just gives you 10 seconds to breathe. But even still, I'm gonna throw it in the great category. There's not too much else I can really say about it. I think a nuke is just really satisfying as well to get. Just like all the zombies on the map just instantly cleared. You get, you know, like 10 seconds to breathe and then you get back on track. I'm throwing it in the great category. It's definitely better than insta-kill. Even though technically you can get more kills with an insta-kill, I think the nuke is just, it seems to be more clutch. Alright, next up we got Fire Sale. Fire Sale is interesting because sometimes, like on an early round, it can be extremely helpful. It can help you get the wonder weapon, it can get you some really strong guns. Usually you're gonna get at least one good weapon, but once again, the fire sale on a later round, it becomes useless. So it kind of just becomes a pointless drop and holds up the cycle of you getting max ammos. So I'm gonna throw it in the mid. Is it better than double points? I don't think so. I think double points is better for helping you set up. So yeah, I'm gonna throw it in the mid category as well. Alright, next up, we got Death Machine. Death Machine is... okay, I'm going to count the Black Ops 3 version. I don't have gameplay of it, but the Black Ops 3 Death Machine is freaking awesome. I just like it more than an insta-kill because you're not using your own ammo, and maybe it's just like the fire rate, but I feel like it's just more effective than an insta-kill for taking out zombies. Obviously, you don't have to reload, and the fire rate is very quick, but yeah, the Black Ops 1 version is really bad though, because after like round 20, it kind of becomes useless. It just takes longer and longer to kill the zombies, and most of the time it'll end up getting you killed, especially if you're on a higher round, because you can't run with the Black Ops 1 version. I'm talking about the Black Ops 3 version for the tier list, so I'm going to throw it in the good category. I like it better than insta-kill, just because, you know, you don't have to reload or anything, so yeah, I'm gonna throw it in good, just above insta-kill. Alright, next up, we got max ammo. Obviously, this is going in God tier. You know, it replenishes all your weapons, all your grenades, all your special items, like literally everything. It keeps the game going. Whenever you see that max ammo drop, it literally feels like you can just finally breathe again and you're good. You're like, alright, we're good for a couple more rounds, we can keep going. Max ammo is obviously the best drop in the entire game. There's not really too much else I can say about it. It's the all-time GOAT. Alright, next up, we got the perk bottle. I am not really a fan of the perk bottle. I like getting my own perks. The only time I really like the perk bottle is if it's on something like Call of the Dead, just because that way I can get all the perks on the map. And on some maps, like Die Rise for example, there are certain perks that I don't want. Like I don't want Mule Kick, and I don't want Who's Who, so it can kind of screw me over in that sense. But at the same time, the perk bottle is usually the reason you're able to get all the perks on a map. Like playing something like Ascension or Call of the Dead, the perk bottle allows you to get like all 8 perks or however many perks are on that certain map. So in that sense, I still think it's a great perk for that reason. You know, same thing with Shangri-La. You wouldn't be able to get all the other awesome perks on the map without it. I guess the only other map where you can really buy like all perks is Origins. You just need to get this little perk bottle right here from like digging up those sites, and then you can buy them. But I guess for the rest of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, as far as I can remember, like yeah, like even on Buried, like the Witch's House perk bottle, like that's how you get all the perks in the game. So do I put this in God tier? I think I have to. You know, I didn't really think of it. It's not only are you getting a free perk, but at the same time, it unlocks the ability for you to be able to get all the perks on the map. So I think for that reason, I have to throw it in God tier, right behind max ammo. Alright. Next up, we got Zombie Blood. Zombie Blood can be very useful, kind of just like the nuke, where it can give you some time just to sort of like reboot and do whatever you need to do. Maybe you were about to go down, maybe you need to get a perk, maybe you need to pack a punch. It can just be really helpful in that situation, and it gives you that safety net longer than a nuke, but it doesn't kill any zombies. So for that reason, I think I'm going to throw it in good. I think it's solid. It definitely has times where it's not that helpful, like on later rounds when you've already packed a punch, when you have all your perks. But at the same time, you know, if you go down and you kill a zombie and you get zombie blood, then it can be definitely very helpful to be able to get your perks back. So even on a later round, I still feel like it has some use occasionally. So yeah, I'm gonna throw it in good. Just all the way at the bottom here, I think is a decent spot for it. Alright, and finally, we got the Bonfire Sale. This is such an awesome drop if you're able to get it. Like if you can kill the Pentagon Thief on an early round, this can set you up for the rest of the game like super early on. You can get like Pack-a-Punch Mustang and Sally's, Pack-a-Punch Crossbow, Pack-a-Punch Ray Gun. It's really freaking useful on an early round. On the later rounds, obviously it's not as good, but at the same time, I'm still gonna throw it in the great category just for the fact that it doesn't take up one of the power-up cycle spots. Like, because this is its own drop, right? Like when you only get it from killing the Pentagon Thief, so it's not like a Carpenter when you kill a zombie and you see like the green glow where you're like, oh my gosh, I might get a max ammo. Like this, it's like, you know what you're getting, and it doesn't like interfere with the other like power up cycles. So like, even though this isn't as useful on a later round, I'm still gonna put it in the great category. And yeah, that was the list. I'm not including these two down here, but yeah, that was the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.